Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing fine. I'm Prashasti Arora, and from today I will be taking sessions on the important news articles and editorials that are relevant in UPSC CSE examination, and we will also analyze and cull out the important nitty-gritties of the article and try to understand where it fits in the best. To start with, we all know that there is a price hike that is going to take place. So please subscribe to the Unacademy UPSC CSE subscription before the price hike. You can use the code given on the screens and you will avail a 10% discount. Of course, if you get the subscription, you have unlimited benefits from regular doubt clearing sessions to live test series, unlimited access to all courses. It is in fact a package, and do subscribe now. Another important announcement that you all need to know is that on every 10th and 25th, we have an all India free test, mock test for all the civil service aspirants sitting. And basically, this will help you understand the place where you're in your preparations, and it will also give you a very good practice for your next prelims. So, starting with what we're mainly going to cover is the important articles that came in Hindu today, starting from the two decisions that were taken by our finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman yesterday, to the GST compensation, to some of the editorials that were important, and then we will also discuss the factory output that shrank, and also India and US relations, and of course China with them. So, starting with the first the first article that I felt was important was that Nirmala Sitharaman yesterday in her press conference announced two major decisions to boost the demand in the economy, right? So, as we know, because of the pandemic, Indian economy has contracted by almost 23% during quarter one. We all know that the tourism sector has been badly hit, and in this regard, in fact, the government has taken a decision to give its employees special vouchers, leaves. The vouchers will actually entail to those employees, including the ones in the PSUs and PSU banks, and they can avail these vouchers and spend it on items which attract GST of at least 12% and above. Another announcement that was made was that special festival scheme is applicable, wherein the government will provide its employees a one-time payment of rupees 10,000 in the form of pre-loaded RuPay debit cards. This is essentially to boost the tourism sector, which in turn will help in improving the economy. So this idea of the government coming in the forefront is basically referred to as the Keynesian economics. Now, Keynesian economics is a very demand-sided theory that aims to understand the changes in the economy over a short period. So, we know that जब गवर्नमेंट जब ग्रोथ और डिमांड म्यूट हो जाती है, which means that the demand and the growth are not happening, the government takes the forefront and it ensures that it revives the demand in order to accelerate the economy again. So this the concept arrived in 1930s Great Depression, which was developed by a British economist Keynes, right? So yes, this is about in a nutshell about the two decisions that have been taken, which also come in where also the Keynesian economics comes into play. Now, talking about the second article, no consensus on states' GST compensation. Now, why has this been in news recently is because a GST Council meeting was held on Monday, which is yesterday, and it ended without any consensus. And there was also a deadlock on compensation to states for the shortfall in their share of the indirect tax revenue continued. So this essentially means that The GST Council meeting could not come up with a consensus, and the deadlock remained uh, for the compensation to states. Now, understanding the GST Council, it is a constitutional body. So this is very important. ये prelims में तो extremely important है, and it comes under Article 279A of the Indian Constitution. So we have to remember, it's not a statutory body, it's a constitutional body under Article 279A. Now, what does it exactly do? It basically recommends the union and the state government on issues related to GST. Now we know that goods and services tax was introduced in 2016, and this tax has basically compiled all the taxes, and it has given a framework to the tax regime of the economy. So this again becomes very important. Now, who is it chaired by? It is chaired by the Union Finance Minister, of course, and of course there are other members also of the Union State Minister of Finance and ministries in charge of finance and of all the states. It is a federal body wherein both the center and the states get represented, right? Now, how does someone come into how does the council come in consensus? Now, every decision of the council is taken at a meeting by a majority of not less than 3/4 of the weighted votes of the members present and voting, right? Now, in fact, the economic survey hailed the GST Council for its cooperative federalism. We know what cooperative federalism and competitive federalism is. Cooperative federalism is where both the state and the center work together for the welfare of the society, and competitive federalism is also where they work in isolation for the welfare of the society. Now, Niti Aayog has also enacted a lot of schemes wherein the center and the state can engage in cooperative and competitive federalism. These concepts become very important because in competitive federalism there is a lot of scope for improvement. Now, now of course we know that an editorial which is named Gene Editing, the Good First and Then the Worries, is very important. A, because gene editing is the next revolutionary science that is coming up, and B, because it is very important in the GS paper 3 in the science and tech section. Right? So now, why has this been in news? Of course, we know that the Nobel Prizes have been announced, and the 2020 Nobel Prize for Sciences has been awarded to 2 women exclusively, which has in fact made history. So the scientists have actually bagged the Nobel Prize for Chemistry for the development of a method for genome editing. Now, let's not get confused here. Genome editing and gene editing आर एग्जैक्टली द सेम थिंग्स, बिल्कुल सेम चीज़ें हैं ये. सो अगर हमें पूछा जाता है कि जीनोम एडिटिंग या जीन एडिटिंग, वो बिल्कुल सेम चीज़ है. ठीक है. अब इन अ वेरी सिंपल लैंग्वेज, जीन एडिटिंग करती क्या है? जीन एडिटिंग इज बेसिकली अ टूल बाय विच वी कैन एडिट DNA of a cell or organism. Now we all know what DNA is. हम सब में एक specific DNA होता है, deoxy nucleic acid, है ना, और वो सब में होता है. This helps define genes and everything, right? Now हमने काफ़ी बार देखा है CRISPR-Cas9 भी बहुत न्यूज़ में रहा है. So now what exactly is that? It is actually a protein which acts as a pair of molecular scissors that can cut two strands of DNA at a specific location in the genome so that parts of DNA can be edited or removed. अब हम image में भी देख सकते हैं how conveniently the strands of DNA are being edited to modify it or to be removed. Now, why is this so important? A, because what we know is that if we do something like this, a lot of diseases can be cured. A lot of genetic diseases can be cured by gene editing. And what gene editing can also do is that it can create a lot of new things. For example, it is being heavily used in agriculture for creating more variety of seeds and for a lot of other things. Now, of course, there are a lot of ethical issues regarding the gene editing. हमने सबने सुना होगा कि डिज़ाइनर बेबीज़ के बारे में आजकल काफ़ी बात होती है. So designer babies, China was the first country to experiment with designer babies, and this brought out a lot of criticism, and also it questioned the very nature of gene editing, right? Now, coming to another editorial, which is towards cleaner air in Delhi. We know that last year Delhi went through a public emergency situation wherein the air quality index uh, fell down to a new low, and because, of course, we know mainly because of the stubble burning in the neighboring states, and of course because of the vehicular pollution that is very prevalent in Delhi. So despite the fact that because of the lockdown there was some improvement in the air quality, but it is again getting back to pre-COVID levels. It is very important for us to bring down the pollution levels by 65% to meet the national standards for PM. Now, what is PM 2.5? Particulate matter 2.5. It ranges from 2.5 to 10, and 10 is the bigger one, and PM 2.5 is the smaller particle. So, if the smaller particle gets in our lungs, it heavily affects our breathing, right? So, of course, a proper action plan needs to be taken. Pollution checks need to happen in vehicles, and transportation has to improve. Uh, in fact, with the fame technology, with the fame electric vehicles technology coming in, we need to be very careful with our vehicular emissions, and for in that regard, even the graded response task force has been formed for emergency like situations in pollution, and we in fact, especially with Diwali coming up, there needs to be higher level of awareness as to the burning of crackers, and being very mindful of the pollution levels in Delhi. Okay, so now another article that is very important in the context of economy is that recently in news, factory output shrank for the sixth month. We know that the economy has, because of the pandemic, the economy is in shambles, and the index of industrial production recorded shrank for the sixth straight month in August on a year-on-year basis. However, even though the economy is picking up, the shrink is only 8% as compared to July, when the index of industrial production shrank over 10%. Manufacturing sector was, of course, continue for the economy. IIP what we have to remember here is that it is released by the Central Statistical Organization every month. So this please remember this, that index of industrial production is released by the Central Statistical Organization every month. It measures the growth in industries throughout the country. So we know that IIP here becomes very important, right? And consumer price inflation too has zoomed past 7%. Food price inflation has gone beyond 10% despite the lockdown being lifted and supply chain networks being restored. Last Friday, in fact, the RBI kept all the key monetary policy indicators without changing them despite the inflation, right? We know that the Monetary Policy Committee argued that an accommodative stance is the need of the hour to revive growth despite the inflation. You know? And we should know what an MPC is. Monetary Policy Committee is a 6-member committee, and decisions are taken by a majority vote, right? Now, one of the last article we will be discussing here is India and US have been too cautious on China. Now, why does it become important? Because the US Under Secretary is on a 2-day visit to India, and he has called on both nations, which is India and China, to shed their apprehensions about China and build a partnership that fosters respect for international law and sovereignty. India has been reluctant, of course, to join any anti China pact despite massive provocations at the LAC and elsewhere. But sources also indicated that the Indo US 2 plus 2 strategic dialogue is expected to be held soon. Now, this meeting is very important and it happens between the two foreign and defense ministers. Okay? So, this is something that we have to remember here. Now, the visit which comes ahead of the US presidential elections is an indication of the growing ties between two countries who just signed the Comprehensive Global Strategic Partnership agreement on February 2020 during Trump's visit to India. We all know that Trump visited India in February, and there were a lot of agreements that were signed. So this comes in the backdrop of that. The official, it is expected to the Undersecretary of the US is expected to proceed to Dhaka from here on October 14th, wherein Bangladesh's role in the Indo-Pacific will be discussed amongst other issues. So this is from my side. Stay tuned to Unacademy. Do subscribe to our channel and keep watching. Thank you.